When I went to Ranger School, you had to have confidence because there was no B or C or D for passing. It was either pass or fail. You had to be perfect in what you were doing or else you didn't succeed. They would whittle you out or you would quit. And so I focused on these three key principles to keep my confidence high and to ensure that I would pass Ranger School, that I would pass through the combat, that I was able to hit when I stepped up to the plate. And that first area is the book answer. See, when I was a junior lieutenant, I had zero experience in the Army. And I was expected to step into a school like Ranger School and succeed at the highest level and to do it perfectly. I didn't have any experience to draw on. It wasn't in me to say, okay, I've done this 500 times, and so I'm confident in stepping out and meeting this patrol. And the second key principle, or the second area to focus, is getting your mental and physical reps in. Say, I think it was Malcolm Gladwell that said you had to get 10,000 hours before you were truly an expert in whatever it is that you're doing. I 100% buy into that. I believe that being a professional athlete was going to be my way to a higher level of living. I truly believe that if I put in the reps, that if I practiced hard enough, that I would get there. And the third key principle, an area of focus in my life that brings me confidence in every situation, is prayer. Now, I didn't start off this way. As a young man, I didn't lean on prayer as much as maybe I should have, and that I know today would matter. But when I was in combat, things were dangerous. And they weren't dangerous because I wasn't trained. It wasn't dangerous because my soldiers weren't capable and lethal and thoughtful, or I wasn't prepared for the mission. All of that was true. We were the most capable, lethal, prepared unit that you could be before stepping out into every combat mission. But the reality of it is it was dangerous. We could lose our lives, and one bad decision could cost me or one of my soldiers' lives. And so I was afraid. Fear crept in because there was so much uncertainty. Prayer gives you a new level of enlightenment beyond just the physical world. It gives you a spiritual way to look at the world, to know that if I do things the way that I'm supposed to, spiritually, things are going to play out the way that they're supposed to. And when I started to pray while I was in combat, I literally felt the energy enter into my body. I felt the fear run off to the point where we could go out on patrol and I could literally encourage my guys to have fun while we were out there doing our jobs. And I know that sounds a little bizarre, and certainly when we were fighting, it wasn't fun. But up until that point where you would be fearful and anxious and worry, enjoying our job and doing things really well because we had that confidence, the confidence that I brought to the team because I leaned on prayer to give me that extra level.